Alex Palou aims to add another win to his legendary season, while Pato O'Ward and the pack fight for the checkered flag at Road America.
Absolute brilliance.
Sunday at 1:30 Eastern on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
The official IndyCar app, powered by NTT Data, puts the pulse-pounding action of IndyCar right at your fingertips. Never miss a lap with the latest news, highlights, and live race coverage. Track every move with real-time leaderboards, interactive maps, onboard cameras, and driver radio. Your all-access pass to every race, every moment, every day. Download the official IndyCar app now.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Elkhart Lake in northwest Sheboygan County, Wisconsin, for qualifying here at Road America. This is the 2025 NTT INDYCAR Series live on FS1. It is a glorious day, but it is sweltering. 90 degrees. It says partially cloudy, but my word, there isn't any cloud cover to bring that temperature down. Track temp up at a whopping 122 degrees. Drivers about to take to the track. Qualifying about to start, and we will be right back. Well, after the single car shootouts in St. Louis, we're back to all cars on track in two groups for qualifying here on the road course of Road America. 12 minutes per group this weekend because it's such a long track and it takes the cars a little bit longer to get around here, about a 1 minute 40s lap. The fastest 6 cars from each group progress. Then from those 12, we'll narrow it down to the fastest 6 and we'll go for pole. Will Vokes and Townsend Bell, James Hinchcliffe with you for qualifying, riding on board with Pato O'Ward. The top 3 in the championship are in this first group: Alex Palou, Pato O'Ward, Kyle Kirkwood. But with 6 to go through, look out for the likes of Scott Dixon, Josef Newgarden, Devlin DeFrancesco, who was second quickest in first practice, and also the ever-fast in qualifying Marcus Armstrong.
Everybody's waiting here. Kyle should be pushing now. He comes out of 14. Crosses the timing strip, so that would have been turn 14 in anger, and this will give us a chance to see for the first time what does a front-running favorite look like at full pace on the Reds.
Already almost 2/10 to the good on the run down into turn 1. Kirkwood, who has won the past 2 races, running very wide. And we've seen them using all of the runoff there through turn 1, down the hill into 3.
Every inch of racetrack on the entry. We've seen drivers drop their left side tires down the hill
close
into 3 before, and yeah, he's just maximizing everything. That's what you have to do here in qualifying. And right now, half a second to the good, but Callum Ilott right behind him on a very similar lap time. Now again, this is just to P6.
Oh, big slide. Massive slide there through turn 5. The Moraine sweep coming up the road into 6 on the picture-in-picture at the top of your screen. We keep an eye on him there. Into 7 and down the hill through Hurry Downs into turn 8.
Super important to get back to the power there in turn 8, and now tons of time to be gain or loss right here. You're looking to kind of edge trim it with the right front along the grass, and Kirkwood hustling there. That looked excellent.
Ilott up to P3. Excellent lap for the Prema driver, 145.447. Kirkwood, though, 7/10 up to the P6 time of Robert Schwartzman. Down through the kink, through Kettle Bottoms, into Canada Corner.
So that's tracking him somewhere around a 44.9, which would move him up to P1.
That's basically where he was in practice, so this looks to be a great lap. He makes that final corner, hits the timing line, and Kyle Kirkwood, nice call, James. 44.9 it is. This guy can add and subtract.
And that's one and done on the push laps for Kyle Kirkwood. He has time to do another. They've opted out. He knows that's probably going to be enough to transfer, so save that extra lap on the tires, as now Kiffin Simpson crosses the line. He was 2/10 to the good, up to P3 for the number 8.
Schwartzman still 1.5 tenths to the good. This looks like a good lap for the man who was on pole position. And he does jump up to 3rd place. That's huge. Schwartzman said he was really enjoying this track, reminded him of the European circuits that he'd grown up on. And look at that, a 45.3 for him.
Tight for Connor Daly. He is not good enough. He goes 8th, but here comes Alex Palou, already in, looking to improve. And he does. Palou to the top. Wow, 44.4.
Wow. Half a second over Kyle Kirkwood as O'Ward now goes into the top 3 as well. So your top 3 in the championship are your top 3 in the first part of qualifying. Palou, O'Ward and Kirkwood. Can Dixon transfer through? And he does to 6th, but only to 6th. And look at how many drivers are still green behind. Newgarden goes up. Dixon drops out. Ilott to P2. Wow, what a lap from Callum Ilott.
Scott Dixon, as Marcus Armstrong gets his way in, pushes Graham Rahal up, but there are still drivers on track. Dixon, DeFrancesco, they are nose to tail and both currently on the outside looking in.
But Dixon tracking just enough. Nolan Siegel also tracking well. Nolan Siegel just has a couple corners to go. We ride on board thanks to NTT data.
And guys, Josef Newgarden's not safe. He's out there pushing right now. There are 3 drivers that are currently faster than the bubble time right now. Here comes Siegel across the line.
Could transfer. Does transfer, but only to 6th. What has Rahal got? What has Dixon got? And Dixon is right on the bubble. He is so close. It's thousandths of a second for Scott Dixon right now. Rahal over a quarter second to the good.
Graham Rahal just entering the carousel right now.
Guys, Josef Newgarden's under big threat here. He's sitting 5th. There are 2 cars going more than fast enough to bump him out. Dixon now losing time on the back. Graham here through the kink. He is looking strong.
Really good. He basically has 2 corners to go here. Canada corner, you got to nail it on the brakes. Don't go too late. Don't go too early. It's got to be just right. That looked a little conservative.
Yeah, he's losing time. He's lost over a 10th. Oh, he's getting it back on the exit, though.
Wow. Up through Thunder Valley and over the line for Rahal. That's a great time. It's 2nd for Graham Rahal. But what about Scott Dixon? He's found a 10th.
Newgarden,
and he's found his way through. Newgarden drops out. Siegel drops out. On board with Newgarden. No, it's not. It's not. Wow. And what about this? You want a shock? Callum Ilott in the Prema, P4. First Prema to transfer through into the top 12. A great job from him. O'Ward, Kirkwood and Palou make it through. So too Graham Rahal and Scott Dixon. But Penske's miserable season continues. Josef Newgarden has fallen at the first hurdle. Breaking news, qualifying interference. Scott Dixon had progressed, but now he's out. He has been pinged for holding up Devlin DeFrancesco, who was on a push lap, and this is what the stewards were looking at in order to make their determinations. There's Scott Dixon in the PNC Bank Honda. Behind him, Devlin DeFrancesco.
And so for context here, Dixon's on a push on a warm-up lap. He's heading to start his final lap. Obviously, race control has determined that Devlin was on a push lap, and so a meaningless lap essentially for Dixon, a meaningful lap for Dev. Doesn't really help Devlin. He doesn't transfer. He's going to move up 1 spot as Dixon gets put all the way back to last.
So here's who advances now. Obviously, Alex Palou, 4/10, the advantage for him. Then Graham Rahal, Callum Ilott for Prema's first top 12. Pato O'Ward, Kyle Kirkwood, and now salvation for Penske, Josef Newgarden.
Yeah, needed a little bit of luck based on the week he's had so far. He's raced here 10 times. He's qualified in the top 6, 8 of those 10 times. So Newgarden with another chance to make it to the Firestone Fast Six as he'll advance to round 2.
Riding on board with Will Power, who will join Christian Lundgaard, Colton Herter, Felix Rosenquist, Santino Ferrucci, Scott McLaughlin, Rinus VK, David Malukas, Louis Foster, Christian Rasmussen, Marcus Ericsson, Jacob Abel, Alexander Rossi, and Stingray Robb in this slightly larger group. Sends down.
Yeah, they're still warming tires, just like we saw with Group 1.
Everybody taking it easy.
It's a 2 prep lap program today.
So interesting. There's been such a development in the strategies from teams and tire prep over the last sort of 3 seasons. It's really become a talking point here.
The gamble would be you push right now and hope for a red. You know, if you're somebody on the outside looking in, like a Rossi, perhaps he's inside right now, but he's struggled so far like we documented. You know, maybe you really throw things at it and just hope that there's problems for others.
I mean, you could do, but the problem you're going to face is everyone else is just poofling around off throttle.
Yeah, where's the red going to come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest. Hope is never a great strategy.
No, usually rhymes with nope.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Always rhymes with nope, but usually plays out as nope.
Yeah, even Rossi nursing the second set up to speed. So Foster, Eriksson, Rossi, Stingray, Robb, and Rasmussen were the ones that did that first run on the softs onto their second set. Now everyone else going to be doing their first runs on the red sidewall at Firestone.
So Lundgaard, your fastest driver from this morning, winds it up, gets to the top of the hill, starts the lap, and this is where it all begins. Through 14, nice and tidy through there. Good launch up the hill. And Lundgaard is on his way, and already 0.3 of a second up on the transfer time from the man who started, who's finished, I should say, fastest this morning.
180 the top speed there. Went down to third gear. It almost sounded like he could have pulled fourth a little bit, used a ton of that exit curb. He'll get very aggressive. Blew the apex there, though, James, and it cost him. He was wide on the line. He lost grip by being wide, and that left rear stepped out.
Yeah, I mean, you see the lap time still trending to the good, but definitely some time left on the table. Like you say, wide of the apex, sliding on the exit. The hybrid system kind of helping him pull out of that mistake. All the road on the exit of turn 5.
Maybe too much. So yeah, this replay here.
This is through turn 1. You're allowed to use anything and everything here. He goes past all the serrated curbing into basically the paved runoff.
Up 0.7, 0.8 now, so this would track for a 44.8.
Watch the throttle through here. Slight lift just to keep the front end in place. You're trying to fight the car to get back to full. Wasn't a lot of time off of full throttle.
This is a heck of a lap for a guy that missed a couple of apexes. This is looking really good, up almost a second.
Flat through the kink for Christian Lundgaard. It's been a beautiful lap so far. Not necessarily on rails, but as we were discussing earlier today, you have to hustle the car to get the speed out of it at this circuit. Lundgaard around about a second to the good over Rossi's P6 time. This should jump him right up to the top. Christian Lundgaard does go P1, a 44.7, the benchmark time in this session. Power nip and tuck with him, and Power goes 5th. It's not going to be enough if the other guys on green improve enough. McLaughlin's not enough, nowhere near, but he will get another bite of the cherry. Herter over the line, and that's good enough for 4th.
Good enough for 4th, but still slower than what the other group was doing.
Problem for Santino Ferrucci, just 10 seconds left. I don't know if he's going to make it to the timing line. This is a missed time run. He's right on the bubble. I think he's just going to get another lap. 2 seconds spare.
That is tight for Santino Ferrucci. He gets another go. McLaughlin gets another go and is transferring as things stand. Same too with David Malukas.
And Ferrucci will be the last guy across the line. The checkered flag is out. All these laps count.
That was a little too close for comfort, though. He was trying to get himself a gap, I think, and he just made it. But that might just be the advantage by being the very last car. Scotty Mack tracking pretty well, up 0.2 right now to Will Power's teammate.
Power's out there on a lap as well, just in front of him, actually.
And Rasmussen's just started tracking ahead as Eriksson impresses and moves up to 4th. Rasmussen now into the 6th, which puts Power out, but look at Power's lap. 0.6 up, Ferrucci 0.4 up, McLaughlin 0.5 up, Malukas 0.5 up, and VK on the bubble as well.
We have a lot of green on the bottom half of that pylon, guys. All you got to be is in the top 6 to transfer. Lots of drivers fighting to get in, others fighting to stay there.
The 77 of Stingray Robb comes through, does not improve. Now what's Lundgaard got? Has he got an improvement to move up from 44.7? No improvement.
VK jumps to 9th, not enough.
Power to 2nd. Will Power up to 2nd. McLaughlin a little puff of dust as he runs off, and that moves him to 2nd. Herter is 1,000th.
Herter's out.
Herter's down. Malukas is up to 3rd.
Ferrucci is right there on the bubble, down 700s, and it's trending the wrong way, sliding around too much. This does not look to be good enough, but a total shocker to see Colton Herta not transfer.
And Marcus Ericsson, both Andretti's out. But it's Lundgaard who tops this session like he topped practice this morning. McLaughlin and Power go through, so all 3 Penske's make it through. Malukas impresses again. Rosenqvist is through, so too rookie Louis Foster. Track, and here's who advances to the top 12. From that first session, Palou and Rahal, Eilert, O'Ward, Kirkwood and Newgarden. From that second group, Lundgaard fastest in second practice, McLaughlin, Malukas impresses again, Will Power, Felix Rosenqvist and rookie Louis Foster impressing once again on a road course. But, here are your drivers competing to make it through. Impressive from Graham Rahal as well. Those two RLL cars have looked pacey all the way through this weekend. They go well on the road courses. We know that. We saw that at the Indy road course earlier on this year in May. Francesco, David Francesco is probably why he was annoyed with that moment with Dixon. Felt he had the car underneath him to progress, and on the basis of what his teammates have achieved, you'd argue he might have done.
It's so tough on these prep laps, driving below the limit. You know, drivers want to get out, fresh set of stickers, they want to just go, but you got to be so patient and so controlled to make sure you don't overdo it and damage the tire.
This guy's been incredibly patient when it mattered this year. It just hasn't yielded the results it should, but let's see what they might be saying on the radio. Let's listen.
Vibration on this set. Copy that vibration. We'll go white 2 here, white 2 for the new set.
So vibration on this set of tires for Josef Newgarden, but nothing the team can do at this point. You got to use them. It's going to shake a bit, but you're just going to have to hang on and deal with it.
I'll tell you what's intriguing. Eilert's only done one prep lap, and he's starting to push already. 3/10 up on Newgarden. You guys asked, would anybody push on their first quali lap in case a red came out? Eilert might have listened. He's going for it first time round.
He's going for it, but he's got a string of cars in front of him on track. There he is in your picture. You see Kirkwood in front. In front of Kirkwood, you've got Palou, you've got Newgarden. They're still on prep laps. So he's got to be, well, Kirkwood in front's got to be cognizant of the fact that there's a driver pushing right behind him. He doesn't want to get a penalty like Dixon.
Hopefully Brian Herta sees that, strategist for Kyle Kirkwood, and radios in and just say, hey, back off and find a gap. You've got a ton of room behind Callum Eilert, who's pressing.
Oh, he's got about a quarter of a lap behind him. Ton of room.
Or get on it now. It sounds like he's staying on it. He doesn't want the dirty air of Eilert in front of him.
Say Eilert here, please. Now push.
And Eilert's dropped off.
Yeah, I say Eilert's lifted.
And that was Brian Herta saying, start pushing.
That's interesting because that lap was looking better for Eilert, but obviously he's backed off so that he doesn't run into the dirty air of Kyle Kirkwood. But that's a risk when you were up.
At the time he backed off, he was around 5/6 of a second up. We ride on board with Felix Rosenqvist, half a second up so far on the run down to turn 3. And that, oh, little correction on the exit, hustling it through.
This guy's so good over a lap. One of the qualifying experts here in the IndyCar Series, and has had a race win here, but amazingly has never made it into the Firestone Fast Six.
So I'm watching the timing screen here, and it's interesting that guys like McLaughlin, Malukas, Rosenqvist all pushing right now. They're probably going to get a second push lap, but Graham Rahal, still prepping his race car, I think is just going to get one. He won't have enough time for 2 more, so that would tell me that they're fueling him for just 1 lap to try to pull off a Fast Six next round.
And the same with the McLarens, who crossed with about 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. So McLaren going for 1 push lap. The Rahal team going for 1 push lap.
Sorry, Will. Big wiggle. He had to get out of it massively. He's still, you see the times bleeding down. That's because his run onto the back straight was just awful from a multiple correction save. He's bled 2/10 over down that straight. That's going to cost him. Hopefully that's not the margin that he's out by when this is all said and done.
He will get another attempt. Crosses the line. Jumps up to second for Felix Rosenqvist. Where will McLaughlin jump up to? Fastest lap so far, 1:44.8 for him. Power over the line to second.
Power doing another lap like we expected. Does Kyle Kirkwood have time to make it to the line? It's going to be close. Here's Newgarden, who goes to P3.
Kirkwood's
I think he will.
Just going to make it.
Woo! There.
Eilert behind him will not.
So Palou now to the top, 1:44.628. That is the new benchmark. Eilert does jump up into the top 6, and Kirkwood pulls it in. He's done.
Checkered flag is waving, so this will be the final run for everybody. Great job from Eilert to get up there Kirkwood feeling safe.
Oh, but look at Lundgaard. He's almost 6/10 up. This is, of course, over the transfer time, that of Josef Newgarden, a 1:45.2, but 6/10 would give him a 1:44.6.
Right with Palou, it should be close. As Lundgaard crosses the line, he does indeed do that 44.6. How about Pato O'Ward?
And how about Louis Foster? 4/10 to the good.
O'Ward doesn't get it.
Nowhere close, and O'Ward is done. So Foster, Rahal, and Malukas all with a chance to transfer. This is Louis Foster in the 45, up half a second on Kalamaila. Good run here from Foster.
Flying. RLL's choice to do the one fly-up. Will it get them through? Foster up to third. Rahal should progress as well. He's about 100th of a second. And up to sixth. Deposes Will Power. So Power is out. Newgarden's done.
He's got to have a big turn 12 if he's going to pull this off.
He does.
And advance to the Fast Six.
He nailed it. Oh, he lost a little bit.
And Malukas is on the bubble as well. Both of them there or thereabouts. Power just about a 10th down.
Oh, not enough.
And Malukas.
So close. 300ths down as Malukas.
Oh!
Not good enough. Graham Rahal is through.
So both RLL cars are through. Palou is through. Lundgaard for McLaren. McLaughlin and Kirkwood will fight for honors. I mean, out of every team in the NTT INDYCAR Series, I got to say, when we came into this qualifying session, I didn't think we'd be saying the only team with 2 cars in the Fast Six would be RLL, but here we are. What a job from them.
And for Team Penske, for Newgarden and Power, they've raced here 20 times combined, 16 times in the Fast Six, but it will not be today.
We're down to the final 6, and it's Alex Palou, Christian Lundgaard, Louis Foster, Scott McLaughlin, Kyle Kirkwood, and Graham Rahal. 2 RLLs in that Fast Six. One driver we were really impressed to see for a first time in the top 12 for Prema, Kalamaila. Alex Palou around a second to the good over Graham Rahal as things stand at the moment. Palou set the fastest lap time of this qualifying session so far in the very first group, a 1:44.477. No one's got close to that as of yet. Absolutely gunning it, 6/10 up. But look at the pace of Louis Foster, who is also sitting around half a second to the good and is a good 5 seconds behind Palou. Palou should go to the top as he comes through and over the line. Palou with a 44.6. But keep your eyes on Foster, who is still checking to be quicker than Palou. Bit of radio.
No, there's going to be lap 1. Going to have to be lap 1 here, Kyle. We don't think we got time now. They could do a second lap. Copy.
So sitting there on pit lane cost Kyle Kirkwood those 2 laps. Now, problem is they probably fueled for those 2, so his car is going to be a little bit heavier than ideal as Louis Foster is a 10th and a half up and coming to the line.
Comes to the line through turn 13. Louis Foster a 10th and a half up. And he goes to the top.
Guys,
Louis Foster, the rookie.
On used reds.
That's incredible.
Used tires. He ducks in, knows there's no more in it. And right now, Palou's still on a flyer, but he's 2/10 down and trending the wrong way.
We have 35 seconds on the clock. Every time we see is red. Nobody is up. As things stand, the rookie, the Indy Next champion, Louis Foster, is on a very strong-looking provisional pole.
But here comes Alex Palou. He is trending about a 10th off. He nailed it there in turn 8. Now he's working through the carousel, but now he's losing. McLaughlin now right there, so right with Foster.
Lundgaard has started his lap. McLaughlin has started his lap. Palou is nip and tuck. It's thousandths of a second as he runs down to turn 12, Canada corner, and he's now a couple of hundredths up. Alex Palou through Canada corner will have to keep it on the throttle on the run up through the hill. He's tracking down. There's not going to be a lot in it. Can Palou beat Foster? Has to take to the grass to try to do so, but doesn't improve his position. So the champion cannot beat the rookie. Can Lundgaard? Can McLaughlin? Can anyone beat Louis Foster?
Only 2 cars left on track, Will. McLaughlin and Lundgaard don't look to be anywhere close right now. Lundgaard's improving a little bit through these corners. He's got a chance. He's really made a good gain in those last 2 corners, but now it's leveled off.
And while this has been happening, Kyle Kirkwood on his only lap managed to get himself up into third, which is impressive because he was not able to prep those tires the way that he wanted. So something's still in the tank from the 27 guys. Good recovery if they can hold on to that position.
Louis Foster looking good for his first pole.
McLaughlin almost 4/10 down. Lundgaard is 4/10 down. There isn't enough time. There simply aren't enough corners to make up that kind of a gap. Lundgaard, I think, has called it a day right now. He knows he's not improving on the time that he has, and he's trailing off as he jumps up. As I say that, does jump up. McLaughlin, half a second down on Foster and moves ahead of Lundgaard. And Foster takes his first ever IndyCar pole position. What a phenomenal drive from the rookie. It's the first rookie with a road course pole since Grosjean at the Indy Grand Prix back in 2021. The Indy Next champion taking the salutations of his team, and doesn't he ever deserve it? We were talking earlier about how impressive he has been in qualifying this year. Twice in the Fast Six, 4 times in the top 12 in his opening half a season in the NTT INDYCAR season. Louis Foster, what a job you have done.
Alex Palou aims to add another win to his legendary season, while Pato O'Ward and the pack fight for the checkered flag at Road America.
Absolute brilliance.
Sunday at 1:30 Eastern on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
The official IndyCar app, powered by NTT Data, puts the pulse-pounding action of IndyCar right at your fingertips. Never miss a lap with the latest news, highlights, and live race coverage. Track every move with real-time leaderboards, interactive maps, onboard cameras, and driver radio. Your all-access pass to every race, every moment, every day. Download the official IndyCar app now.